This is PRM fifth video, first chapter. So in the last video, we have discussed about the first two steps, that is defining the research problem. After you frame your topic, then you have to review the literature survey. Then we will discuss the third step, that is formulation of hypothesis. So about the hypothesis, we already discussed in the initial videos while I explained about the definition. So first you're going to frame your objectives, then you're going to frame your hypothesis. So hypothesis will be framed as a testable statement. It's nothing but the tentative assumption. After you frame your hypothesis, you conduct your research, then you apply your statistical tools, then you verify whether the statement which you have framed is correct or not, whether it is same or not. Okay, so it need not be same, or it need not be like, it is nothing like it has to be same. So let's see in detail about the meaning of hypothesis. So a proposition that can be verified. A proposition is nothing but a tentative assumption or an opinion that can be verified to determine its reality is nothing but hypothesis. So it can be defined as logically framed relationship between two or more variables. That means you're going to frame two or more variables which is expressed in terms of testable statement, which is framed in a logical relationship. So there's an important question, maybe individually asked for 2 marks, or types of hypothesis would be asked for 5 marks. So pay attention in detail. Maybe any of individual hypothesis could also be asked for 2 marks. So types of hypothesis, that is descriptive hypothesis. Totally there are around 6 hypotheses. Let's see the first one, descriptive hypothesis. So descriptive hypothesis is nothing but it contains only one variable. Okay, you're going to just take one variable. You're not going to state it as any relationship between two or more variables. You're going to just mention it as a statement. Let's see with an example, what is the level of commitment of staff in your organization? So here there is only one variable, that is level of commitment of staff. Either it may be high level or medium or low level, but you're not going to take this level, you have not mentioned it as like you've taken level of commitment and you're not relating it to any other variable. Okay, usually what we do is, in the research, we are not going to mention it as a statement, but rather that in a questionnaire, we just ask this type of questions as just a questions than framing a hypothesis. Okay. So next one is relational hypothesis. See, in the descriptive hypothesis, you have just stated, you have taken only one variable and stated as just a question. But in the relational hypothesis, it's just one step more, where you're going to establish some relationship. So when you wanted to establish a relationship, obviously there should be two variables. So you're going to consider two variables over here. So among the two variables, you're going to state it as a testable statement mentioning the relationship between the two variables. This relationship could be either directional or non-directional. That means it might be positive or negative. Let's see with an example. See here that the students who attended class have higher grades than students who skipped the class. Here two variables are there, students who attend the class and student who skip the class. So these two have a relationship showing us have higher grades. See, this is a directional statement, because here they are only saying it as students who attend the class have higher grades than students who skip the class. So this, if you're framing as a directional, you're showing that these people have a higher grades. Okay. If it is non-directional, how you mention as students who attend the class has a relationship than the students who skip the class for scoring the grades. That is how you mention if it is a non-directional way. So once you start conducting a research and after you collect the data and you find a conclusion for it. So after you find the findings, the statement which you have framed here may be true or may not be true. Okay, means you might get the same result stating that students who attend the class have higher grades, yes, than the students who skip the class, or you might get a different result that students who skip the class and students who attend the class may be of the same ratio, I mean the same level. So this statement proves wrong. So may be correct or may not be correct, that doesn't matter, but this is how you have going to frame a relational hypothesis. So let's see with the next type of hypothesis, that is correlational hypothesis. The next is explanatory or causal hypothesis. This I'm going to explain hand in hand. So first is correlational hypothesis. Here also it says that correlation, obviously a relationship which you are mentioning in the testable statement. That means you're going to take two variables. So two variables, among that you're going to frame some relationship. Okay, so that what is the difference here is, observe very clearly, these states merely that the variables occur together in some specified manner without implying that one causes the other. That means you have two variables and you're going to mention that these two variables are positively associated, or there is a relationship, or there is a negatively relationship. You're going to just mention it, but you're not anyway stating that one variable is responsible or is the reason for the change to occur in the another variable. Let us understand this with an example. Level of job commitment of staff is positively associated with their level of efficiency. It states that, see, if the level of job commitment of staff, it's proven that like there is a positively some association is there with their level of efficiency. But nowhere we are saying that if the people has job commitment, then definitely there is a their level of efficiency would be more. This is not the meaning of that particular hypothesis statement. This is not the correlation hypothesis states. What it states is, yes, this level of job commitment, somewhere it is related with their level of efficiency. But we are not saying that if job commitment is high, definitely there is an increase in the level of efficiency. We are not saying that this variable is going to cause a change in another variable. This is not the meaning of that. Okay, let's understand another example. People who practice yoga are negatively associated to develop diabetes. This means that the people who practice yoga more, yeah, there is less chance for them to develop diabetes. But nowhere we are saying that if yoga is practiced, then you will not get diabetes. This is not this is not the meaning of this particular statement. Thus, we are not stating that practicing yoga is a reason for not to get diabetes. This is not the way what the correlation hypothesis states. They are going to just state that yes, these both variables has a relationship, but this will not cause the other variable to change. Let us understand the next one, that is explanatory hypothesis. Why I mentioned correlation and explanatory goes hand in hand. Why? Because when I mentioned correlation hypothesis, I told there is a relationship between these two, but one variable does not cause a change in the another variable. Okay, but here there is a two variables, they will have a relationship, and here one variable causes the change in the another variable. That is called explanatory or causal hypothesis. This means that, for example, like if price of the product changes, suppose if you are conducting a research to understand the consumer behavior, so framing a hypothesis like if price of the product change, definitely the consumer behavior changes. See, here the price is responsible for the change to occur in consumer behavior. So this is what one variable will cause the change in another variable. That is called explanatory hypothesis. In correlation, one variable has an association with another variable but is not the reason to change in another variable. So let's move on with the next two types, null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. These two hypotheses are most important hypothesis. Why? Because in most of the researches we use null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. So null hypothesis is nothing but the zero, in the sense it is denoted by H0. Okay, so it states that there is no relationship between the variables. So whatever two variables you take, the null hypothesis always is an assumption with there is absolutely no association or no relationship between two variables. Let us understand with an example. There is no relationship between level of commitment and their level of efficiency. So quite opposite to the null hypothesis is alternative. Alternative states that yes, there is a relationship between two variables. Okay, so alternative is usually denoted as H1 or we denote as HA. So this example, with the same example, we can make it as like there is a relationship between level of commitment and level of their efficiency. How we usually do in a research is, suppose if you frame this particular statement in your research that there is no relationship between level of commitment and their level of efficiency, and you conducted research and you got a result, and the result shows that the null hypothesis, that is, yes, there is no relationship between level of commitment and their level of efficiency is true, then what you state is yes, null hypothesis is accepted. Suppose if your result shows that there is actually a relationship between level of commitment and the level of the employee's efficiency, then how you're going to state the result is null hypothesis is rejected, alternative hypothesis accepted. So that's all about the types of research. There are totally types of hypothesis. There are totally six types of hypothesis. So descriptive, just one variable. Relationship hypothesis, there are two variables. You're going to just mention it as there is a relationship between two variables, directional or non-directional. Correlation also has two variables. You're going to state it as positive or negative, but it will not, it does not has a meaning that one will cause a change in the another variable. Explanatory also two variables, relationship is there, but one causes a change in the another variable. The null hypothesis, there is absolutely no relationship between the variables. It is very, very important to know that it is denoted in H0, denoted as H0. Alternative hypothesis, it states yes, there is a relationship between two variables, denoted it as H1 or HA. So let's continue with the fourth step in the next video.